Hi, you are here with my Nico with Bridge Elementary and Bridge X. And I am so happy to have Nicole Law for joining us with Belair for our virtual homeschool fair. How are you doing, Nicole?
I'm doing well. It's managing to be a quiet moment.
Yes.
So we'll see how it goes.
Good. I'm so glad. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Though I have to say, I know all about Belair because my son, my youngest Nico, went to Belair and we loved Belair. We still talk about Belair. Belair was such a changing point for his life. I have to brag. I got to show his little graduation. This is when he graduated 5 years ago from Belair. And they had a cute little graduation ceremony and I was so proud.
Yeah.
So anyway, why don't you tell those that don't know a little bit about Belair?
So Belair Cooperative Nursery School has been around for almost as long as Bowie itself has been around. I believe it was started a little over 50 years ago, maybe 52, something like that. And we are located right now behind the CCPC Church on Belair Drive. We have our own building that we rent from them, and I think it's been a little different configuration, so it might have looked a little bit different than when your son was there. Mm-hmm. But we have 2 classrooms. We love to have 4 full classes. So we have a 3-year-old class, we have a 4-year-old class, we have a 4/5s for the kids that are turning 5 a little sooner than the others. Mm-hmm. And we have enrichment so that your child can be enrolled in the 4 and 5s class or the 4s class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then they also can come and learn a little bit more in-depth science, math, art on those Tuesdays and Thursdays. We have 2 teachers, and we have 3 specials teachers. We have music, we do Spanish, and we do yoga a few times a month too. But the cooperative model is one that I really like, and I never really heard about it too much until I was looking for a place for my daughter. But basically, this parents run the school. We make up the executive board of directors. We hire teachers, we fire teachers, we clean the school, we help out in the classroom every single day. If we don't have a parent helper, we don't get to have class. Mm-hmm. So it's really important that we cooperate together as families, as parents, and as students and teachers to make our school run and be effective.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. You know, when we left from Belair, we went to public school, but it was my first initiation or really understanding of parents collectively coming together to educate the children. Mm-hmm. Of course, after we did our number of years in public school, we decided to go back to homeschool. We'll go to homeschool. And I remember thinking, this reminds me of how it was at Belair. Yeah. You know, even with our time at Bridge, as we are at Bridge currently, but it was the parents who jumped in to clean, and it was the parents that were, you know, helpers in the classroom with the teachers, and, you know, and we got a chance to know all of the kids that were in there, and they were making friends, and it was just such a wonderful, wonderful environment. Who do you recommend Belair to? Like, what type of family do you think would best be served by Belair?
Yeah, we're open to enrolling any sort of family. So whether you have units with both parents working, if you have a stay-at-home parent and one working, or if you both, you know, work from home and whatever, we are open to everybody. But it is much nicer to have at least one stay-at-home parent because you are involved every day in the classroom, or not every day, but I feel like I'm there every day because I'm on the board. But when it's your turn to be parent helper, it's a good chunk of your day. It's 4 hours between the time you get there and time you leave after you clean. So it's real helpful to have somebody at least be stay-at-home parent, so that you can work your schedule around the schooling a little bit. Mm-hmm. But we make every family work. So if both parents are working out of the home and you have a grandma that lives close by, she can come and be a parent helper. So we really try to make it work for every family. We make it work for every family.
Oh, wonderful. And how you mentioned the 3, and I remember when Nico was there, they did have those 3 almost like what we would now call electives, but it was art, it was music, and yoga. Can you talk a little bit about the yoga? Because the kids really enjoyed the yoga.
Oh, they love it. And, when you're a parent helper and your day's on yoga, it's real fun too. We cooperate with Imagine Yoga, which is it's actually in our same building, but we have just doors between the studio and the school. And usually we have yoga on lunch bunch days, which we can talk about in a little bit. And the kids get to go to the studio with their specialized children's instructor. I think the class is about a half an hour long, and it's just a really good time for them to get wiggles out and stretch and exercise. And also they teach a little bit of mindfulness too, so that, they're not overwhelmed when they're in class or when they get frustrated or somebody's not sharing a toy or something like that. But they love it, and they love taking off their shoes, and they love, doing downward dogs, and it's a great time for them.
Yes.
And for the parents too.
And definitely for the parents. How about extra activities? Don't you all still do field trips? Do you do field trips outside of school?
We do. We try to get at least one field trip a month for each class. Sometimes we combine, like this past December, the 3-year-olds and the kids in enrichment went together to the Playmuseum in Annapolis. So that was fun for all of them, because it was basically our whole school went. But sometimes they're, they can go separately. The older classes will do something different than the 3-year-olds classes. But we also take, we had a 3-year-old field trip scheduled to Wise Markets before Corona, and we didn't get to do that, but I know they would have had a fun time going to the grocery store and seeing how it works on the inside and getting a tour. We call them field trips, but we go next to this church is a senior daycare, and it's called Golden Ages, and we go over there a couple times a year, and we sing them songs, and mostly like around Halloween and Christmas. Our music teacher, Miss Seppi, who's you might have heard her. She's been teaching for a long time music, and she's everywhere in Bowie, but we love her. But she teaches them songs, and then we march across over next door to the grandmas and the granddads, and we sing to them. So that we consider that a field trip, because we're out of the school, but we're not far. And then the 4 and 5-year-olds at the end of the year, what we try to do is go down to Annapolis and do the pirate ship adventure.
Yes.
That's usually that's about as far as we'll go, and that's about as much money as we try to have parents spend. But it's a real motivator for the kids getting ready to graduate, and they look so forward to going to that. Yeah.
Oh, good. Now I know that you are currently looking for new families. How do you handle your registration? What would people be prepared to submit? Is there a wait list when you do it? I feel like I remember us being on the wait list, but just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You did have an open house at that time. So kind of just give us a little bit of information about that.
Yep. We have open house in February is when we start re-enrollment for our returning families, and then we open it up a little bit after that for new families. But you can check out our website, and we have all of our registration forms on there. We do, so for returning families, it's a $50 non-refundable. For new families, it's $100. And then we just ask for the May of the following year. So right now we're asking for May 2021 tuition to hold your spot. Currently there is not a wait list. So that's not normally, in my experience, I've only been with the school for 2 years now. We did not have a wait list last year as well. So it's at this point, it doesn't seem to be an issue. But we would love to have your 3-year-olds who are potty trained.
Yes.
And your 4 and 5-year-olds enrolled with us. Yeah. So it's a simple form to fill out. Well, actually, it's a few forms to fill out. We need to know if you're interested in being on the board, because we have to vote on new members before the school year starts. And it's a agreement that you're going to work with the co-op to do your family jobs, do your cleanings, just so that we know that you understand what's involved with the parents, because we're essential. We don't, our school doesn't work if we don't have parents doing their jobs. So yeah. Yep. So then that's it. And then your kid's enrolled, and in the summertime, you'll get more, another packet full of the state forms that we are required. Every parent helper has to have a background check done and fingerprinting done. Every parent helper has to have a physical completed by your doctor and signed off for. Your child has to have a physical signed off by their doctor and signed up for. If there's any medications we might give them, we need a form filled out. And then just normal contact information.
Oh, good.
But that'll all be sent out in the summertime, so you have plenty of time to get that done.
Yes, definitely. So since we are not in school, are you all staying in contact? Are kids staying in contact?
Yeah, we are. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, our 3-year-old teacher, Miss Whitney, she does a live Zoom class. And on Tuesdays, she does a craft. And the whole school's invited. So it's not just the 3-year-olds. So she does a craft or two, depending on how it goes. And then on Thursday, she is wanting to continue her Thursday show and tell day. And I think she tries to get in a book reading too. And then Miss Penny, who is our 4 and 5 teacher, she does a Facebook Live on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And she just keeps going. She's keeping what her curriculum, her plan was. So they did this past week for Easter, they did like a couple of egg experiments, and she reads them a story. So we're staying in contact. We do group me for all the parents. You need a chat, got questions. We do that a lot. So yeah, it's working.
Oh,
It's nice to stay in touch with everybody, and the kids love seeing their friends, so it's great.
That's really nice. That's that reassurance that even though we are not meeting face to face, we still think about you. We love you. We want to extend that, virtually. So I'm so happy to hear that. And as we finish, why don't you give us some of your information? Are you on social media? And we're going to put it at the bottom of the screen, on the bottom of the video. We will have it written there, but if you could just give us how everyone can find you, if they have any questions, where can they go?
Yes, so we do have a Facebook page, Belair Cooperative Nursery School, that is public. We don't really post a lot on it. Maybe some information about not homeschooling, open houses. But we do have a private one that once you're enrolled, then you'll become a member of that one, and that's where we put some more information. If we have a field trip and there's pictures, then we do that. That's really our only social media we have is Facebook. We don't have an Instagram account. And then our website, which I am looking up on my phone right now because I feel terrible that I didn't have that ready. And it's Belair. Oh my word, this is terrible. Belair. I should know this. You guys, this is terrible. Okay, belaircoop.org.
Okay.
I never remember if it's the whole cooperative or if it's Coop. But yeah, belaircoop.org, and that's where you'll find our registration information, tuition information, because we do boast the lowest that I've seen around Bowie and Crofton area. So, but it's low because parents are involved.
Yep, the parents do so much. It was one of the things I have to tell you, in full transparency, at that time, we were in this financial bind, and I needed my baby to have some friends and to get out the house, and I needed to talk to people. And I had an oldest who was in public school, but Nico really needed some friends, and Belair really stepped in. I think I just went online and I found it. And I remember telling my husband, can you believe how much this costs? We can do this. I can do this. Yeah. And so it really changed Nico's life. I mean, really, like I said, to today, even if I say, we drive past Belair. 5 years later, he goes, it's Belair. There's Belair. And I'm like, I know.
That's so cute. I know. So cute. Oh, I really hope we get to have our alumni barbecue this
please.
In the summer. That would be so great.
Yes, have the information. We would love to come. We will definitely be there.
Yeah, and since we've been around since the 60s, I mean, this is for anybody that's ever been. I mean, currently, Miss Penny's sent her boys, and they're in their 20s, older teens and 20s, you know, so she's been with us as a parent and now as a teacher for a very long time.
Yes.
But we would love to see everybody. That would be so great.
Yeah, I remember Miss Penny. It was Miss Penny and Miss Dawn. I remember both of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, so I'm happy to hear that she's still there. But thank you so much for spending some time, you know, being with us with this virtual homeschool. I hope you get inundated with people.
Me too.
Yes, I want you to know I can honestly attest to how wonderful Belair is. That's why when it was time to do the interview, I was like, I'm doing Belair. I'll do Belair.
I'm so glad.
Yes. But thank you so much, Nicole. If anyone has any questions about Belair Cooperative, please don't hesitate to contact them. We will have all the information in the bottom of the box. Yes. Until then, we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.